Hello and welcome to This Week on Q. I'm your host, Derek Lambert, and joining us this week in studio is Brittany Ellerman, Quincy University Associate Director of Admissions. Brittany graduated from Quincy University with a bachelor's degree in 2011. 3 years later, she received her master's degree in communication. She's recently taken on additional duties in her role with QU's admissions department. As part of the restructuring and reboot process, one of her main goals in her new position is to improve communication flow and visit opportunities on campus. Thank you for joining us, Brittany. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
So could you kind of tell us a little bit about, how you felt when you were approached with, the new job that you now have?
Yeah, a lot of emotions. I was extremely excited. I've been really passionate about admissions since I first started about 6 years ago. But at the same time, you're losing friends and things like that. So it was sad, it was overwhelming, it was nerve-wracking, and it was awesome all at the same time.
Could you maybe tell me a little bit, so all of those emotions, and then on top of the fact that the university going through a recovery plan, and the announcements with all of the financial issues going on within the university, did that kind of affect those emotions a little bit?
Yeah, because even though I was feeling all these things, I really couldn't stop and let that kind of overtake me. We all had to band together and start the reboot process very quickly. So we all kind of sat together and came up with a game plan that needed to be implemented immediately, as well as things that maybe could be put on the back burner for summer or things like that when we had more time to plan. But yeah, everything kind of went full force right away. So not a whole lot of time to think.
So just kind of got thrown into it for
a little bit.
Yeah.
yeah, but very exciting and awesome so far.
How about, with you being a QU alum and working in the admissions office, like you're sitting there, you get to meet these potential new students, you're the one, meeting these students, and now you're helping direct the whole process. Does that kind of change your take on everything, just being a QU alum?
I think it definitely helps when you're working at an institution that really gave you so much. It makes me feel very loyal, and even more so wanting to sort of help make things better. And it's not just me, actually all of us in the admissions office are alums, so I think that is very helpful when recruiting and when kind of getting rid of two positions and kind of having to go even further to travel and to have to take on more students. It would be difficult for anyone, but I think it's a little bit easier for us just because we do have our past experiences to utilize to kind of go get these students.
Right, so with you guys all having a connection to the university already, it makes it a lot easier to recruit those students.
Definitely.
So, you talk about your team that you have. Could you maybe talk a little bit about if there are any initial changes that are coming to the admissions office, and specifically maybe within the different territories that you were talking about, losing two positions, obviously there needed to be a little bit of restructuring that went on there, and how that changed your position and your territory and kind of everyone else.
Definitely. Well, we went from 7 freshman admissions counselors down to 5. So we really had to be creative and specific in the way we were recruiting certain areas. So for instance, we went down from 3 to 2 people in the Chicagoland area.
Okay.
And then we also kind of split the inner city Chicago rather than giving to one person and kind of putting it to all of the reps so that we could all kind of have a piece of that, because that is sometimes a bulk of the amount of apps that you're getting. And so we really needed to kind of split that to all the counselors. Another big change is that Ashley Van Camp, who prior was in St. Louis area, is now taken on local territory. She's having a baby probably in about a week or so.
Oh,
so she really needed to
close.
be local. Yeah, exactly. But me being from the Quincy area, we're kind of working simultaneously together. And about every month or so, we're going to be going to the local schools to visit and kind of get our name out. So I'll be helping her with that, and then I'm sort of taking on her St. Louis area. So she's helping me with the travel plans and where to get in to the different high schools.
I know just personally that there's a big St. Louis, a large St. Louis presence at QU. Are you excited to be going down there because there is such a large presence here?
Definitely, yeah. And I actually, prior to having St. Louis, had the Metro East Illinois side, so I was always in Belleville and O'Fallon, so always passing through St. Louis, and it's really nice to be able to now be in that specific area. But again, Ashley going with me, I think that'll be really helpful to kind of have two different presences there. In addition, we're working with people in alumni to maybe come up with people from the National Alumni Board or just anyone that's in the St. Louis area that maybe wants to come with us to fairs or to specific high schools to write postcards or letters and things to that area specifically. So we're really working hard to kind of target that specific area.
Awesome. Well, I know another thing we've briefly touched on is obviously the goal of any admissions office is to increase enrollment. So I would assume that's a goal of your guys' as well. Is there anything that you guys are doing to really boost that, enrollment number for whether it's next fall or, the fall after that, if there's any, big plans moving forward right now?
Yeah, a couple of things. One is we're really boosting the amount of visit days that we have. We're kind of restructuring our Discovery Day where we have students come on a weekend to see campus. So I think that'll be a really great thing in addition to boosting the marketing for those days as well. We're also going to be doing a big road show this year in March. So every Monday in March, we're taking the QU bus, we're packing it full of current students and faculty, staff, and then rolling up to 16 different high schools in the local area to kind of have a mini college fair that only includes us.
Awesome.
And we're going to be giving publications and swag away to these students. So I think that'll really build awareness, especially in the local area. Doing more with major specific days. We're working even more so with the faculty than I think we ever have before. And that way we can really come up with days where we can bring those specific students to campus and then also have the faculty call their majors and prospective students. So I think that should be very helpful. We're also boosting our communication flow, especially email-wise. So us in the admissions office are really coming up with ways to touch these students through email every 2 weeks or so. In addition, we're going to be looking for a sophomore and junior email and communication flow as well so that we can really kind of target them earlier on in the process than just senior year.
Right, so try and make that point of contact a little bit sooner.
Yeah.
I know for me, like when I was looking at coming to QU, when I met the faculty and the professors that you were going to be seeing, that was a really big deciding factor for me, so I definitely understand wanting to include that as much as possible. Speaking of faculty, we talked about the visit days and everything like that. Are they going to be, having any other type of role in the admissions process? So, including them on more of the visit days, but will there be maybe more of that one-on-one contact that we were talking about, different things like that?
Yeah. Well, right now we actually, the university incorporated what's called the admissions blitz. So they have a couple, I think it's about 15 to 20 faculty members that are really wanting to help out. So meeting with them regularly, sending out emails and giving them information from admissions. But they're also giving us, their point people and kind of who wants information from us in terms of who to call, who to email, who to send, messaging to via mail. Also with the visit process, coming to our Discovery Days and things like that, setting up those more major specific times. But I think it'll be really helpful for us just to kind of work seamlessly together. They're also really going to be coming to our staff meetings more to give us updates on their programs. So that way when we do go out and meet these future prospective students, we can really tell them up-to-date information about all of these major programs we have. Not only classes that you're taking and things, but what alums are doing in that field of study and what they can look for in the future.
Awesome. So it seems like, like we talked about, communication is going to be the big key with the admissions office. Awesome. Well, coming up, more with Associate Director of Admissions, Brittany Ellerman, including how you can help out with the recruitment process at QU. You're watching This Week on Q.
Join me, Coach Marty Bell, head basketball coach of the Quincy University Hawks, live from Chicks on the River every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. or on ESPN 1440 for the Coach Marty Bell Show. Hear from our coaches and players as Ben and I recap the previous games and preview our upcoming opponents. Grab your friends and family and come out to Chicks on the River for a great meal and meet the Hawks. QU men's basketball, Chicks on the River, and ESPN 1440, a winning combination. And as always, it truly is.
Yes. Growing up, I had one deaf friend, and that was the only deaf person I knew before coming to school here at QU. And now I regularly get to hang out and socialize with the deaf community, which has been awesome. Sign language isn't exactly like learning another spoken language because you use your body, facial expressions, your hands are your instruments. So it is definitely learning a new language. It has its own grammar and syntax and everything. It's not exactly like English like a lot of people think it is.
Well, welcome back to This Week on Q. We now continue to discuss enrollment issues at Quincy University with Brittany Ellerman. Is there, you know, we've talked a lot about undergraduate studies and different things like that, and you specifically benefiting from getting your master's degree at QU. Is there anything being done with our graduate studies and the programs that we have already at Quincy University?
Yeah, Danielle Flessner, who is an alum of QU, she's working in our admissions office, and she has a bunch of different roles, but one of them is also going to include the recruitment of graduate students. So right now, one of her big projects is putting together a booklet of sorts that I think will easily lay out all the criteria needed to be in all these different master's programs that we offer. And so she's going to be giving that out not only to prospective students, but to businesses around the area, and then also maybe going to different fairs that they might have, career fairs and things like that at different businesses, as well as maybe having a booth to sort of get those people to come over and learn more about our programs.
So we're back to the communication thing. We're really communicating those things in the area and things like that. You know, another point I wanted to hit on too is we do have such a large athletic population at QU. You know, a lot of our student population are athletes. You know, I don't know if you would have any plans moving forward, kind of throwing a lot at you, but are there any plans moving forward with specifically admissions and athletics, you know, kind of working simultaneously and different things like that?
We're looking into that. It's really a difficult question to answer right now because we're hoping to have sort of a liaison that works both with athletics and admissions. We're still looking for someone to kind of fill that role, so as soon as I know, you'll know too. Okay, perfect.
No, I completely understand.
Yeah.
You know, kind of a big talking point for everyone in today's world is social media. So could you talk about, you know, if the admissions office is finding a way to incorporate social media into the recruitment process, and just kind of if you have any plans moving forward on that?
Yeah, actually I just met with Pasha and Sarah from the communications department. So they're kind of working right now to revamp and make our social media platforms even more relevant. And we're going to work kind of simultaneously with them. So I gave them a bunch of dates and things that are important for them to post for admissions and prospective students. So we're kind of utilizing it together in a way.
Right.
And then we're also in admissions taking over kind of the Snapchat that we have at Quincy University. So start following us, Quincy_U. But we're going to be Snapchatting every single day, and then I'm going to be sending out kind of a mass communication like email to not only our prospective students for 2017, but 18, 19, and forward to maybe start following us on Snapchat and all of our social media platforms to really get our name out there, which I think will be helpful.
That's good. I mean, we talked a little bit about it too, is, you know, social media is such a large part of everyone's, you know, career and different things like that, so that'll be a good way to get in contact with those students. You know, kind of talking about the plans that you have, could you maybe talk about some of the challenges that, you know, you being the Associate Director of Admissions and maybe your fellow admissions counselors, just some problems that they might face in the admissions department at QU?
Yeah, I think right now perception in the media and things, especially locally with the financial, you know, instability, but I think we're really trying to get our name out there in different ways, you know, going to all the local schools about once a month and showing that we really are here, you know, for your prospective students, and we're going to do all that we can to make sure they have a wonderful college experience. In addition, being a little bit short-staffed, you know, we did lose those 2 counselors, so restructuring territories in a way that's going to be helpful for us, and being able to kind of work smarter but not essentially harder.
Right. No, that makes sense. And to go off of that, you know, how could, you know, current undergrad students at QU, faculty, alumni, maybe even people in the area who, you know, watch this, are going to watch this interview and things like that, how could they help you guys out, help the admissions process and the recruitment process at QU?
Simply spreading the word. You know, we are a rolling admission, so we don't have that May 1st deadline. So definitely start applying. It's free on our website. We have great scholarship opportunities. I would not be here if I didn't receive any of those scholarships and grants from Quincy University. So definitely look into us. We have 40+ programs. If you are a current student, talk to your high schools. Tell the students at that high school about your experience and really encourage them to look here. And for alums, refer a student. You can do it online, or you can reach us at admissions at quincy.edu and let us know students we should be reaching out to, and we'll definitely jump on all over that.
Okay, and then another point, you know, to go with that is, again, bringing social media into things is, you know, tagging you guys in the different things that maybe we do on campus, and that'll reach a lot of people as well.
Yeah. We also have on our website a contact us, and it goes right to our communications office. And if it has something on there that pertains to admissions and maybe programs or referring students, they'll send it right to us.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for coming down, Brittany. We appreciate it. We also wish you the best of luck in your new role and hope to have you back down here.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I appreciate it.
You're watching This Week on Q. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
QUTV is more than a news outlet.
1 in 5 undergrads work at least 35 hours a week, year-round.
Students involved with QUTV learn life lessons, create lasting memories, and gain the experience needed to succeed in future careers.
Students need to be involved with QUTV as a viewer or as a participant because we need to know what's going on around our campus.
Knowledge is powerful, and QUTV News serves to inform not only the students, but the Quincy University community as a reliable and powerful news network.
Again, we want to thank Associate Director of Admissions Brittany Ellerman for coming into the QUTV studio to talk about the hot topic of enrollment. Next week, we'll be chatting with a representative from Quincy Medical Group to talk staying healthy in the season of sickness. A reminder, you can find us on the QUTV Facebook page and on campus on Channel 97. Thanks for tuning in this week, and we'll see you next week, Hawks.